lap of my heat. Got a little loose coming out of 3. Got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me that we're ready to run now. That's a damn good thing, 'cause that green flag's waving and I'm on the gas. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn a wrench. It's the only way I can afford to fill it up again, tear it up again. It's the only way I'm ever gonna learn. One more left turn. Laps in, from the back to the front. I'm making my move one at a time. I'm picking them off. 2 back from the lead, working on second place, coming out of 3. I put it straight to the wood, 'cause where I'm at ain't good enough for me. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn see me coming. High to 4 is the move I'm making. He's about to learn to rub in his racing. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn a wrench. It's the only way I can afford to fill it up again, tear it up again. It's the only way I'm ever gonna learn. Yeah, it's all about one more lap, one more year, one more left turn. One more left turn.
Well, good evening, everybody. Here we are for another edition of the Inside Line presented by our friends at Dirt Track Bank. My name is Scott Angel. Great guest on hand here tonight with us. We're going to bring in Mike Nichols, Kelly Shryock to start off the show before we bring in some of the lighting Sport Mod Summer Series drivers, Devin Peterson and Tyler Watts hanging in the background so far. So we're going to waste no time here. We're going to add Mr. Mike Nichols to the stage. I think Mike's at some pool league right now, and we'll add Kelly Shryock in here as well. 2 guys that had a lot of fun this last weekend in Columbus, Nebraska, and I think a lot of people had a lot of fun with Mike and Kelly both. Mike, Kelly, thanks for joining us here this evening, and great to have you on hand, and I think Columbus was a success.
You bet.
Mike, are you with us?
Yeah, I am. Absolutely. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Are you shooting pool or what are you doing?
So yeah, well, I had to step outside. The background's a little bit too loud, so you'll be able to hear me, just not see me.
That's all cool. So it's great to have you guys with us here, and you guys were very instrumental in the stock car chassis school this last weekend, and I think a lot of people are excited to get back in the garage and work on their cars the next few months before they take on the race season after listening to you guys.
Well, that's good. I think the class went really, really well. I'll tell you, I was pretty stoked to get to pick Kelly's brain for a couple days as I was presenting, And like ultimately, I think, you know, at the end of the thing, we had a lot of positive comments, and you know, I've been a part of a lot of those classes, and we had attendees that have been a part of a lot of classes, and we had multiple people say that was the best class that they've ever been a part of.
It's definitely fun to be able to talk racing. I know we got behind there a little bit, but you know, once you get going on a certain topic, it just snowballs to, you know, further and further conversation. And you know, myself, I learned also, you know, from listening to people's comments and listen to Zach with the Speedway people, you know, this Zach and you know, the shock guy. And you know, if you ever think you got all this figured out, you definitely don't. So you never too old to learn, that's for sure.
And it's crazy coming from Kelly. You've won USMTS championships, multiple track championships, tons of races. Mike has got tons of races under his belt and national championships as well. And for you guys to feel like there was still something left to be learned, and that says a lot about what racing is in general, I think.
For, you know, I think you guys were $175 for the class. And I always figure, you know, like if I can just learn one thing, you know, $175 is pretty cheap. You know, if it was 300, it's still pretty cheap. So it's, I think Kelly and I both said multiple times throughout the weekend that, you know, everything we know, we figured out by making mistakes. You know, it cost us money, and that's, you know, it's trial by fire, I guess, if you will. So
no doubt, what might don't work today, definitely stored in every bank. It might work tomorrow. So you just never know. You know, when you can, you know, the biggest thing is try to hopefully get them in a direction that they can make the right choices, and instead of guessing like we always do, maybe a little bit more scientific information involved with that.
And that's something, you know, your guys' experience in itself. You guys had to learn the hard way. You didn't have classes to go to, schools to go to. It was laps and laps and laps and laps and laps. And I think at the end of the day, that's still what makes a race car driver a better racer is laps. But being able to get information fed to them, such as, you know, some of these classes and the tech help of SkyRocket race cars or B&B chassis or Slider, or any of your chassis builders out there, that tech help goes a long ways now. And to be able to sit down for day and a half, 2 days with you guys, I mean, that just puts guys in a much better position going forward in the season.
Yep,
yeah,
for sure. Associate or try to.
So this is an interactive show, and Travis Patterson was one of the guys in the classes. I will say, from my perspective, you two were a perfect example of no two guys are the same. It was a good example of two different strategies, which is why it is very beneficial for people in the class. So exactly. Thanks for watching with us here, Travis, and thanks for chiming in on the show. And again, thanks for being at the school with us.
Scott, you know, yeah, kudos to that comment. And I would say there was multiple times where, you know, I would listen to Kelly and I say, well, that hasn't been my experience, or vice versa. And like Kelly has pointed out, and he did several times throughout that weekend, was that, you know, if nothing else, this is going to cause you as the racer that we were talking to think about, you know, things from different perspectives, and what's going to work for them and what might not work for them. So there isn't necessarily one magic pill for everybody.
It'd be too easy if it was, that's for sure.
That is definitely for sure. It would be definitely too easy. You know, we talked about the chassis school a little bit. Mike, you made the announcement here at the IMCA banquet that maybe your season is going to look pretty similar to what it was the last few years, but after 2024, maybe stepping away from weekly racing.
You know, I'm getting my balls kicked in here on the pool table, and and here we are on here too. You know, I've had a really good run, and I've missed so many things, you know, over the years with friends and family. I'm sure Kelly and and a lot of other racers can appreciate that and definitely know where I'm coming from. But there comes a point in your life where it's time to start maybe doing some other things. And I think I'll probably always own a race car, but or at least be a part of someone's racing program. But as far as me, pushing it really hard, I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm just making laps just to be making laps. And so like I said, I've had a pretty good run and pushing it pretty hard. Yeah, I at least intend for this to be the last year. We've got some things in the works. My wife and I have some things in the works, and ideally everything would start to kind of fit in place next fall.
And with that being said, stopping with a lucky 13th national championship, I mean, what better way than lucky 13, right?
I don't know what I'll do faced with that sort of thing, but my heart tells me right now that I grew up hearing nothing more than everything about Ernie Durr, and my dad, my grandpa. I mean, they were huge Ernie Durr fans and went to watch Ernie Durr all over the Midwest. And if get faced with that, to be honest, I think that's one of those things that should always be there in place. And I would see more like the 13 was like you jumped in the elevator and you looked for the 13th floor. It just didn't exist.
Oh, that's awesome, Mike.
That 13 is lucky. I was born on the 13th, so I like that 13 number.
Oh, I mean, that's one good thing from the 13. That's for sure. Kelly Shryock, that's a good number to have if you're in Kelly's shoes, then for sure.
Well, Kelly, it's just not fair. It's not fair for a guy to be so knowledgeable in racing and then be a good racer too, like a good driver. And so, Kelly, I'm so upset with you that you have everything. And yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair for you to have so much.
No, I wouldn't. Or not. Just associate myself with a lot of good people along the way. That's what it takes to be successful is associating yourself with good people.
Indeed. I couldn't agree with that anymore. And kudos
Did I lose
you on Oh, can you hear me?
No, you guys are good.
We
can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Hold on.
Kelly, you're good.
Can you see me?
One hell of a racer, and he is
yes.
Utmost respect for that guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's something that's crazy. Surrounding yourself with good people is half the battle, and the crazy part is to be able to surround ourselves with the chassis school and you guys is something that's just amazing, and I think everybody's reaping the rewards of it. It's amazing, and like you said, Kelly, good people, good things happen. Hey, Mike, before you go to shoot your next pool, Chad Dolan says you're looking good.
Yeah, because there's no picture. Yeah, that's probably true. I appreciate that, Chad.
I don't know how much time you have, Mike. I don't want to hold you from that. And
they're not yelling at me yet. So,
well, that's good. So let's talk a little bit more. We talked a little bit about what you're going to come up with in 24. You guys also have started some bearing refinishing and that kind of stuff. What do you guys got going on there?
I appreciate you giving me the plug. Anita will appreciate that as well. So wife and I, a few years ago, we saw a need with where I was working and the people I was a part of through some industrial type bearings that conical bearings that where the price was skyrocketing, and essentially they were using them one time and throwing them away. And I was familiar with the REM polishing process. And I thought, I wonder if these bearings would last a little bit longer if we would do that on these. And I offered to do that for one of my customers free of charge. And this is actually, I just paid a different place to actually take care of that. And when they did, their bearings, instead of one time, they actually got 3 uses out of it. And it was, they had a lot of compliments with it. So the wife and I took the plunge and we invested in it, and it's been really good. And then, so obviously there's a lot of benefits in the racing world for that as well. And, we've tried to be a part of a lot of programs, and we priced ourselves, really, really reasonable, just because it's been good, paying for itself in other ways. And with the racing stuff, it's kind of a little bit of a way to give back.
That's super cool. And we can't thank you enough. That was one of the things that we were able to give away last weekend during the banquet in the chassis school was, I believe Austin Carter picked up a set of bearings that you were going to refinish for him.
I did see that. And yeah, hey, I'm getting yelled at now, Scott.
Yep. I figured it was coming, Mike. Thank you. We'll talk with Kelly here for some time here. Thanks for joining us here, Mike.
Scott, Robbie, thank you guys. And Kelly, don't kick my ass next time. Too bad when we're on the racetrack.
Hey, just think about that, though. If it's going to be successful, if I get brake gauges in your car for next season.
You'll consider that a win. Sounds good. All right. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.
So Mike Nichols jumping out there. Now just with Kelly Shryock. Kelly, it's amazing. You and Mike going back and forth, and those guys really enjoyed what they learned, and it's something that's going to be exciting going forward in 24. But I'd say probably the more exciting thing that happened last weekend was you took the plunge and you signed up for a membership with Dirt Crown, and maybe we'll see you at a couple more races.
Well, I tell you, you're offering something that's pretty exciting to the stock car world. And, my hands are a little tied. I'm pretty blessed. I got an awesome owner, Mike Howen with the Lake Mills Motorsports team. He loves stock car racing and or racing in general, I should say. And, I'm a little bit limited at what his schedule allows. And he was up the shop the other day, and we were looking. I think we can. I don't know exactly how many, but I think we'll hit quite a few of your races in the East and see if we can't get a couple more of them beautiful trophies you guys give away.
You took one home last year at Spencer, it was, and it's cool to see guys like you getting those trophies. One of the things, you run the Lake Mills car, but also spend all day, every day in the chassis shop still, building sport mods and modifieds, and you guys doing your own little tweaks on the stock cars with the B&B car, right?
Correct.
So going forward, we'll see you in IMCA ranks. Are we going to see you jump back maybe in the USMTS world? What's 24 look like for you in the modified?
We got 3 different cars we get to race. Again, I'm super blessed with having Mike in his operation, allowing me to drive his race cars. And, we got a couple fresh bullets for the open car, and we got a fresh bullet in IMCA car, and the stock car is always ready to rock there. So we're just going to kind of race what sees and makes sense, what we see and makes sense. And, he's not put no pressure on me yet with the USRA / car. We made most of the shows that we went to there. I'm not lying. It's still pretty fun to stand on 650 horsepower. So super excited about doing a little bit more of that, and definitely not giving up on our IMCA car. We got that thing rolling pretty good at the end of the year, and my stock car is just it's usually on point. We have to see a couple changes with the new IMCA rules and the ride height rules. We'll have to maybe test a little bit and try to get up to speed. We've got a couple cars out there that seems to be doing pretty good, so we hopefully will be a short learning curve there, and just race where it makes sense. And we race about 100 nights a year, so we look forward to racing, and I don't know what else I would want to be doing other than racing.
And that is for sure. I mean, you've been in the racing world for many, many, many years, and very competitive no matter where you go. You mentioned it's still fun to stand on the gas with 650 horsepower. For you as a driver, that's probably, I don't want to say this, as fun, if not more fun, than when you jump in the IMCA car and the right foot maybe isn't as important.
No, and that's part of that is them stock cars. We get out of our IMCA car and get in that stock car. They make a noise. They turn 7,400 RPMs, and it's pretty fun. But then when you get out of that stock car and get in an open mod, now we're talking. It puts the little bit of a shake in your hand. Is pretty fun. But they're all fun racing. I've paid the bills on them open motor rules, and that can break the bank pretty fast. And I'm not saying the crate engines are the answer, but on a whole, it's pretty affordable. The prices going up on them on things, and almost getting to the point where it's not quite as affordable with a crate engine. But hopefully IMCA will keep taking a look at their rule package, and kind of heard possibly some the IMCA stock car engine in a modified possibly. I talked to Zach a little bit about that over there at Speedway, and he had dynoed one up and are pretty close, maybe slightly more with that engine, but possibly it'd be kind of fun to be able to build our own engines again, and if we do have problems, be able to tear them down and work on them too. So pros and cons with everything. We'll see what IMCA decides on, and hopefully they maybe put a package together where that little engine would be competitive in the IMCA modified world.
And you would think, take a couple 100 pounds off the car and give it a big carburetor, and you'd think it'd be pretty competitive. If you have to tame it up a little bit, maybe you put a 2-barrel on it. Who knows what they'll come up with. I'm sure IMCA will do their due diligence and do some testing and figure out what's best as they move forward here with the crate program and keeping the modified program together. It's sometimes scary. Down in our neck of the woods, you go to a racetrack and there's 8 to 10 race modifieds. A couple times we went up to Spencer and up in there, and you guys have a good car count still, and some real hitters every time I was up that way.
No question. Spencer was kind of a dying track, and Trent and I don't know who all come up with that, racing 6-7 times a year and paying $1,000 to win. But it's definitely put the spark in that track. And in our area, there's just so many racetracks. Not to say there's too many tracks, but on a whole, maybe more limited schedule and pay a little bit more. Kind of like Spencer did, instead of running 15, 20 nights a year, back it down a little bit, and that might work out in favor of some tracks. I don't think weekly racing really makes some money. I think there's specials usually, where they end up hopefully making their money. I talk to promoters as if we're in the same business. You're in the same business as me. I got to have people to buy race cars, and we got to have tracks for our people to race these cars on. And I try to give my 2 cents as much as I can. Sometimes people listen, sometimes they don't. I'm not saying I know everything about racing, but I've been doing it long enough. Next year will be our 40th year, believe it or not. I can't believe it. It's been that long, and we've seen a lot of changes throughout the 40 years, and I'm a little concerned about the modified. I love my modifieds, and a little concerned about where them things are going to end up. So technology is ruining some of it, but just technology advances, and hopefully they'll be around for quite a few more years coming on.
Yeah, and you have a real strong package when you go to your sport mods out of your shop. You got a guy, I don't know, what's that guy's name, drives a 9 car? Is he 3 times as good as you now, or is he just got a number 3 times as big?
He's a joy to work with. He's it's pretty cool. He's never satisfied. Kind of like myself. We all how we can go faster. I'll tell a quick story about Matt. He called and he was saying how tight his car was one night. I don't even know what track he was on, Slayton or one of these tracks, and just super tight. And I'm thinking, oh shoot, it's obviously to get that national championship, you got to win a lot. And he was telling me how tight this was, and the car was just unbelievable, this and this and this and this. And then he tells me, if the yellow one had come out, we'd have probably lapped up to third or fourth place car. It's like, okay, I love somebody where he can see room for improvement. And I think that makes him so successful. He's never, just laying down, and, he's always trying something different and not afraid to try something different. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We had the top 3 in IMCA Sport Mod points. Yeah, pretty cool. And actually, we had the 10th place car too. So, our sport mods are pretty solid. And, again, we can't just keep assuming that nobody else is trying to win them big races. And I think, Matt was over the shop today actually, and talking about maybe some different things we need to try. And, if we don't keep trying to get a faster race car, it's going to be tough to win them national points. He brought us the 3rd manufacturer's trophy, so they look pretty good with 3 of them in a row. I'd really like to see that 4th one for sure.
Yeah, let's not stop at 3 on that one. Let's get more than 3 for sure. You guys with the sport mods rolling really good, and I think your modified program's coming back around too, and we're starting to see some guys run pretty well on that again. For a few years, you kind of, I don't want to say you abandoned your IMCA program, but you focused more in on the USRA, USMTS stuff, and we're really, really good over there. And now you've come back to the IMCA world, and I think you've got your cars pretty good again in the IMCA world up there too.
It's we got some pretty darn good drivers in our cars right now, and we can again, we can't just, you got to just keep trying different things. And, that's a lot of my job. So, hopefully we can keep going. And, it's, I'm kind of sound like a nerd here, but I get the darn goosebumps on my arms when somebody calls me with their first win, or Matt Lufton his 35th win. If and when them goosebumps could ever leave my arm, then I know that's probably when I'll be done, doing this business that I'm in. So I still get them, and still super excited about, listening to people tell me about their night and how it went good or how it went bad. So we look forward to a few more years, and hopefully we can continue on.
I put this up there a second ago. Colby Fett says 40 years, Kelly. Are you even that old?
Not that hard, but body, I'm getting there. So it's getting a little more difficult, but them young guns, they drive hard for the whole race. And I like to say the old guys can do, but I think we tend to take a little bit of a break. I think that's the slower pace in a stock car. Maybe that's why it fits me a little bit better. I can breathe a little bit more than trying to hold open mods and the IMCA cars. But Kobe's another one, man. He's super good to work with, and he's not afraid to try some different things. And it's just really cool to be a part of their team for sure.
It's definitely a team to keep your eyes on. Colby Fett and those guys there. Any place they show up, you might as well. I'm not saying you can ride them in the top 3, but they're going to be up there contending at least.
Well, at least in the tracks we go to, when Matt and Kobe's there, I feel sorry for the competition, because it's usually one of them two that's taking home the hardware most of the time. And again, we can't just stay stagnant there. We got to keep trying some different things. And Kobe had a few ideas when he was at the shop here a while back, and we'll keep trying some different things, and hopefully we can continue and get them big checks. That Kobe brought home some nice checks last year, that was for sure.
Yeah, and that's something that up in the Iowa area, we're going to see a couple big races here, and maybe one of these days we'll see one of them for the modifieds. But the sport mods have a chance to race for $25,000. Did you get your name in for the $100,000 in the stock car, Kelly?
You bet. Yeah, that's I raced for $100,000 once with my my A mod, and that's I'm not sure, that's probably too much money to pay to win, but oh my God, somebody's going to win it, and that that's a amount that's will definitely make your racing season really successful if it can pull that kind of win off. The biggest win we've ever had was $30,000 on a race. So, 100,000 would be just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's something, and it's obviously popular. I mean, selling out of registrations at the 100,000 and 150 some for the 25,000 race. So, definitely gonna have some heavy hitters, and that's one thing when you jump in the stock car. It's no cakewalk for you, especially just at home at some of your home tracks, and then you do a special, and the out of towners invade, and it gets that much harder.
No question. I grew up racing. When I first started racing, I'm going to throw some names out here: Mark Noble, Wayne Larson, Ron Jones, a bunch of guys that raced with my dad. When I started racing, I was 10, 11, 12 years behind them with experience, and so I know what it's like to race guys that are better. But I compliment, and I say it all along. If I didn't race against Mark Noble, he's helped make me who I am. I mean, the better guys you race with, it's going to improve your program. And if you truly want to improve your program, you got to race the best there are. And, in my eyes, that's what we raced back in the day. And, it was frustrating to go home because I guarantee I've run second to Mark Noble 100 times. And, but eventually, God darn, we beat him once, and we beat him a couple times. And then, it paid off. Determination and hard work, I guess, does prevail. It's just in today's financial situation with how much these things cost. It's a guy needs a lot of, I call it OPM. If you can get help with other people's money, it sure makes life a lot easier when you're trying to compete against them caliber of people.
That is for sure. And it takes a village. I mean, everybody says that about kids, but it takes a village to go racing anymore, and to do it at the levels that we want to do it, and to compete. I mean, unfortunately, it's not a 9 to 5 job that's going to have a normal salary to afford to go to these races and run up front, and have the guy who does the tire work, and have the guy who does the shock work, and have the guy who does the engine work, and it goes on and on and on. If you're not surrounded by good people, we keep saying that, it's something that it's just not possible, unfortunately.
No, not at all. And, I've got, Ryan Colehouse is my man. He takes care of my car, and without my wife, I might as well quit racing. It allows me to be able to focus on, my business, and hopefully taking care of people that believe in us, and, buying race cars from us. And, it's a full-time deal, but again, I don't know what else I would want to be doing, I guess.
Right. So if a guy wants to get on the build list for a SkyRocket, is there still time to get on the list for a mod or a sport mod?
Yeah, I would say we kind of limit ourselves to, there's 3 full-time guys, and then we have some part-time guys, and we're trying to do the 20 to 22, 3, 4 cars. I think right now we're at 20 or 21 with 7 stock cars, plus 7 stock cars. So, when we promise you a car for racing season, that's what we'll, for sure, hopefully get accomplished for you. And, we plan on having all of our cars built by about middle March to end of March. And we're right on track again for this year for that. And we can get some more cars built if we needed to. Being overwhelmed and working 7 days a week, if we have to do that to get our jobs done, that's what we do. But, we look forward to maybe being able to get out and do a little more testing this spring. And, we got to, again, just build that little better mousetrap. We want to catch more mice than the next guy. So we just got to get that little better mousetrap dialed in so we can, catch some of them, catch some of them checker flags for us.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. And that's what keeps you out in front, not only you, but your customers as well. Kelly, what do you think if we did a chassis school 2.0 for next year already? I'm here. Yep.
Okay.
We're still here, Kelly. What do you think of a chassis school 2.0 for next year?
Well, I think we need, if you're going to let me just ramble on and Mike ramble on and some of our other guests, we're going to need probably 2 days. 1.5 is not enough for. I mean, we just there's so much stuff, and I think the best part is I think when people start asking questions, because it'll snowball to effect to the questions. I think people are just afraid to ask some of the questions because they don't want to sound stupid or dumb, and you know, when you're talking to people, you got to throw that out the window, and there's no really such thing as a dumb question, and I think just allowing just open forum kind of question. I think people can get as much knowledge out of anything, personal questions or whatever. But I think we need a little bit more time just for some open forum questions.
I think we can accommodate that, and I think guys would thoroughly enjoy that, to be honest with you as well. So definitely something, I think we are very eager for a 2.0. Talking with some of the guys that did attend, they were eager for a 2.0. They said maybe we could even double the entry fee, and they would have no problems with that. So that means we could double everything at that point if they're willing to do that. So I think we're still gonna try to keep it in one of those things. Here's Kevin Betson. Kevin Betson's gonna jump out of a hobby stock into a stock car this year. He was at the school and says, hopefully there's a school next year. I'd be there again. So the thing about a chassis school and all the information that comes from the school, and especially listening to you, Kelly, and Mike, and Kyle, and Zach, and Nick, and all the guys that were there, and even your fellow racers, is you can only pick up on so much, and you're gonna have in your head the things that you want to try for this season. And if you go again next year, or guys go again next year, they're going to learn even more because they're more experienced from something they tried from this year's
Sure.
school, that next year they'll be able to pick up on something else and benefit again.
Don't take much to advance yourself one spot on a big, a special night that pays more money. They're there for a reason. They want to learn, and it's pretty cool to be able to, use my experience with all the other racers and, give them. Hey, if you're afraid of competition, you shouldn't be in this sport. So, never been afraid of competition. Competition makes you better, makes the world go around. So racing, talking, telling people what you do, most of the time they don't believe you when you're telling the truth anyway. So trust it from me that if I'm telling you how it is, I'm not going to lie to you. If I don't want you to know, I'm not going to tell you. So, I think most of the people are like that. I think Mike made a really good point the one time we want we want people to be able to keep their car straight. If you're just a rookie, we want you to be competitive and not in the way, per se. So I think most people are going to help until sometimes they outrun you. But even at that point, I'm okay with that, because if you're faster than me, then I need to work on my program to get faster. So, most of the guys will help just to keep the people going straight and not being out of control. You've seen them. We call them water spiders, cars that you don't. So I know they don't know where they're going. So I sure can't try to predict where they're going. So, helping people listen to, hopefully keep them go a little straighter and maybe not tear up their stuff as much, or your own, of course.
and that's the thing. Oh, looks like we lost Kelly there. Shoot, we lost Kelly. But like Kelly's talking there, 100%. Helping racers there. A thing that helps so much here. We talk about it all the time. You can only make your competition better. So we'll see if we get Kelly back here. Maybe. Shoot. We'll see if Kelly joins back in here quick or not. Again, thank you for joining the podcast here. It's the Inside Line presented by our friends at Dirt Track Bank, Jay Burdick and the Malvern Bank folks, always helping us get up and down the road here. There he is. Kelly's back.
Yeah.
Kelly, we got you back now.
Something said
You got-
it wasn't working, and I'm very computer illiterate, so we're back on track here, I guess.
you're good. You got to talking about the water spiders, and then
Water spiders,
you know everything went crazy from there, kind of like a water spider does. But like you said, you know, the better you can make the people that are on the racetrack with you, that's going to make it easier for you as a driver and make it better for your competitors as well.
no question, for sure.
Zach Zippy, Kelly, have you worked on your redraw skills yet?
You know, I inherited a few things from my daddy, and he wasn't very lucky in the draw department, and you know, it's yeah. How do you fix that problem of drawing crappy? My wife keeps track of things, and you know, everybody think you start on the front all the darn time, but trust me, I am not a very lucky drawer, and there's some people that are lucky drawers, and you know, it just makes you better, I guess. It's more impressive winning from that redraw 12-10 hole than it is starting in the first or second hole, I guess. So
I mean,
we try not to get. I watched a little. I get a lot of my information off of TikTok, you know. So I've seen a couple videos about the guy throwing a fit from drawing that 12, and that's probably been me a few times along the way. But I'm gonna try to work on that, and you know, it is what it is, and you know, if you draw the 12 out of 12, it's frustrating, but again, hopefully it's more impressive when you can pull that W off from starting 12th.
you're exactly right. Again, guys, this is a totally interactive show, and as we've seen there, Kelly jumped off and back on. And if you have questions, bring them forward here. We're not going to keep Kelly too much longer. I'm sure he's got better things than to hang out with us all night. We definitely appreciate Kelly's time. But if you guys got questions for Kelly, shoot them our way here quick. We'll talk with him for another 5 or 10 minutes here before we let him go about his evening. And we can't say this enough. Thank you, Don, for helping us. Kelly, you guys braved the weather even on Thursday night, and you finally said enough was enough trying to get to Columbus and decided to pull her into Des Moines before you came any further in the wonderful snowstorm.
I need to pay attention. I figured out where Columbus was, pulled up on my phone. I have maps, and it showed winter weather from about Highway 20 north. And it's like, all right, if we have to drive a little slower to get past 20, we should be good. And my wife said we're going to be chasing it all the way to Columbus. It's like, really? I should have probably checked that out. And we got it. We got to Ankeny exit there, and it was starting to start. We left at 2:30. I thought we'd be fine, and shoot, it was going to start getting dark, and we just decided that it wasn't worth the risk of getting in an accident. And my wife was freaking out really bad, and you know, I'd confront her that, hey, who else would you want behind the wheel than me, of course. And she wasn't amused by that. And it was just in our best interest to get a room, and we got a room, which was kind of cool, and got up at 4:30 and made it to Columbus with about 15 minutes to spare. So we were, it all works out usually.
That all works out, and that's something you mentioned. Highway 20. It seems like the more Rob and I were in Iowa this last year, the more we realized Highway 20 goes pretty much anywhere we wanted to go, and as soon as we could find Highway 20, we knew how to get home.
Yeah, no doubt. You can take 20 all the way across here for sure.
Here's a pretty cool comment. Hunter Wergen typing in, Kelly is the best dry slick racer. So definitely many laps and a lot of experience with horsepower on dry slick racetracks. So that's pretty cool to see. We had all kinds of comments coming in after the school about, your experiences and different things like that. So it's cool to have you as part of the school. And I think guys need to make sure that they keep that in mind as we look forward to a 2.0 next year, Kelly.
Well, I think, if there's something to be learned, they're showing up. They're just not keyboard warriors complaining about why they can't win. them people are doing something about it and showing up and trying to make their program better. And that's what it takes. Again, surrounding yourself with good people at seminars like that, and, be one-on-one, maybe, with your shock guy and your chassis guy, and try to get the information that will fit what you're looking for. And hopefully so you can park that thing in victory lane as many times as you can throughout the season.
Kelly, have you ever put a car on a pull-down rig before?
We have, yes. So we actually, my old partner, we put data acquisition on. We had eight different things on the data acquisition, and then we were able to go to the pull-down rig, and with that data, being able to pull the car down, and we definitely learned quite a bit of stuff in doing that. No question, you're learning. What you can learn with that is just phenomenal. I think you can do it, without having data, but that data acquisition confirmed, everything. Just giving you an example, we had sensors that showed travels on all four corners plus the pull bar. Then we had a sensor on the brake pedal, the throttle, and the steering. So we had 8 different things hooked up to the computer, and we were able to look at the travels through the corner and look at shock speeds and positions and where the car settles in at. And we definitely that was pretty valuable information. Still use that today for what we learned there, and that was quite a few years ago.
So here we go. Johnny Sadoff. When I was delivering frames to Harris, I met Kelly when he was sweeping the floors there. He's come a long ways.
I remember buying Yes, he.
And now you got somebody sticking up for you. He went from sweeping floors to sweeping nights at the racetrack.
Yeah. Pushing them darn frames. Most people know. I mean, I worked for Bob Harris in the Harris Auto Racing for just shy of 20 years, and Johnny delivered a lot of frames to us there in Story City. Yeah, it was a lot of memories throughout the years as the years keep clicking on by for me, for sure.
Maybe that's what we need to do some night is we need to get Johnny on here and you guys could talk about some of the battles that you had throughout the years in modifieds. I mean, that's something that would go way back and be really interesting to see.
We didn't really race weekly with Johnny much. I at the specials, I remember racing with Johnny, some of the early stuff in the late specials back in the day, the big money shows down in Texas and all. I mean, we were in Iowa and he's over there in Nebraska kicking ass, and he was the man for a long time. That's for sure. Unbelievable amount of wins that man's got.
It is crazy, and he can still get behind the wheel today and get up to the front and win. I think won last year, one night, I think even. So he's still winning away, and definitely a lot of history there. Kelly, I'm not going to keep you any longer tonight. I can't thank you enough and appreciate your time. And I think we bring you back on a few times as the summer goes here, and maybe check back in with the racing program and see how things are going there. Everybody at SkyRocket and SkyRocket race cars or chassis, keep those guys, roll in the right direction, and maybe we can bring on Matt one day and learn a little bit. We probably have to bring on Brittany, not Matt, though, if we're going to learn anything, right?
No doubt, Brittany is the. Brittany, man, she's all in. I don't know if I want to be on the bad side of her. Well, I know I would not want to be on the bad side of her.
Again, just great folks all throughout racing and great fun, and up and down the road we go, and we run into all these people. And Matt, he was in a stock car once last year, one of our races, I think, driving one of Paul's cars. So Cool to see a guy like that. And did I see him post a picture maybe about a late model or something he's going to play in this year too?
And I don't know how many different places. It's kind of an economy late model. He's got himself a car, and it's the same engine that's in his sport mod, with a shock package. Nothing too fancy, shocks, and So, he'll be a factor there. I'm sure he's hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know about 450 horsepower, 460 horsepower in a late model, but I did run a crate late model down in Mississippi with a crate motor in it with a big old spoiler on it, and not to brag at all, but there were some open late models there, and shoot, we were fast time with the 604 crate for the last hour of test sessions there, and it's amazing, get this thing wound up and get momentum. So it'll be fun watching Matt in that class. I'm quite sure he'll be successful in whatever he does, and look forward to maybe seeing if I can maybe take her for a hot lap or one time possibly.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I had the sport mod at Elgona, and you watch the sport mods, nothing against B mod if you call them, or sport mod. Them things are darn fast, and night in, night out. Usually Matt's turning faster lap times than we are in our IMCA A mods. So they're pretty fast. So he's got a great program, and it'll be fun watching him in that late model for sure.
It will be. Again, Kelly, thank you.
You bet.
Like we said, we'll stay in touch as the race season goes on here, and good luck to you and your whole team there. Make sure Dawn has a good evening, and thanks for her letting you join in the show and all the help that she does to get you up and down the road as well.
You betcha. Thanks again for everything, and we look forward to getting at least one more of them trophies. Hopefully we can get one more next year, or this year.
You're going to get more than one. Let's hope for that, Kelly. It'd be great to see you guys take home a couple of those and maybe get one for your house instead of just the Lake Mills Motorsports shop.
For sure. That's what we're looking forward to.
Thank you again, Kelly. Everybody, Kelly Shryock, driver of the number 3 modified, also the SkyRocket Racing Components. So make sure that you guys are looking those guys up if you're looking for anything with a B mod or a modified, open or IMCA. Those guys can help you out there. We're going to change gears here a little bit and bring on a couple guys that we look to see in the Lighting Motorsports Sport Mod Series. Let's welcome in Tyler Watts and Devin Peterson. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? Devin, you got sound?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. We got Tyler and Devin here. So, again, thank you guys for hanging out with us here. We'll bring you over here. Tyler, let's start with Tyler here. Tyler, you went to the chassis school with Kelly and Mike and ran the stock car a little bit. Obviously, planning to run the stock car a little bit more, but the sport mod is where you've really been cutting your teeth lately.
Yeah, I'll say the stock car school is really good. Got to thank Mike and Kelly a lot for that. They did an awesome job, kind of leading you in the right direction, giving you the steps, and kind of one of them deals make you do the rest of the work yourself. Obviously, there's no one thing to do for everybody to be successful, but if you can kind of take the steps that they gave you to learn and put in the work, I think that the information was really, really good stuff.
Yeah, so it was fun, and it's probably more than I guess I expected. And to hear some of the guys talk, it seems like it was more than they expected to learn from the chassis school, and to see Mike and Kelly go back and forth, and Kyle Vanover, and have some of those guys as experience that have been up and down the racetrack year after year after year, and they're willing to. I don't want to say they've spilt all the beans, but like you said, they gave you a roadmap how to win. Now can you follow the map?
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see two guys like that who've had so much success. Two guys who everybody obviously respects a lot. Just being there to talk to you, answer questions, and like Kelly said, some people might be a little afraid to ask questions that sound dumb to guys that smart with that much experience. But it was all a lot of fun. They did a great job. Zach and Kyle and everybody. Thank you guys for putting that on. It was pretty cool. If they do it again, I'd definitely probably go again.
And that's something pretty cool. You've had a pretty good teacher in yourself with your dad. Definitely getting you around the racetrack's pretty good here, and it's fun to always see you guys pull in. And the Sport Month deal is something where maybe this year we can get you out and about more and visit just some new racetracks.
Yep. So we definitely plan on hitting all the Dirt Crown Sport Mod series, and majority of the stock car series as well, with me and my dad going back and forth in the stock car. But the sport mod deal will be a lot of fun. Obviously, that's where we run the most and where our level of competitiveness is probably a little better. The stock car, we're still learning. Hopefully learned a little more, but time will tell on that one.
Yeah, and you're going to have kind of I don't want to say a shoe in on Devin, and Devin, you can jump in whenever you want to here. Tyler, we're kind of in some of your neck of the woods down there in Kansas with Beloit and Waukene and Colby and those racetracks down there. You've got some laps down that way.
Yeah, so Waukene I raced on back when they raced back in the 20 teens and stuff. We ran there quite a bit. That's actually where I got my first 2 ever feature wins at. Haven't raced there for a few years, so really looking forward to getting back there. Barrett Wagner and his wife, they obviously did a great job with Colby all the time, and I think Waukene will be just as good. Having those 2 days back to back will really make it easy for a lot of guys to come down and run both those shows, and I think both of them would be pretty awesome. Then Beloit, small track, we ran there once last year, and I think they actually probably put on one of the better stock car races I've seen all year with Tyler Fry and Van Lanningham racing side by side for majority of that feature. So that's pretty cool.
So definitely some little racy racetracks down there. None of them are going to be too big that we go to down that neck of the woods. Devin, do you know how to get around any smaller racetracks?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably, I'll end up asking Tyler for what gear I need to run at a lot of those places. So, yeah, definitely some smaller ones there, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Should be fun.
And that is something, Tyler, maybe with some of your experience and Devin with some of your experience here, we can put together a gear chart for some of these sport mod guys that are going to go to some unfamiliar racetracks, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Shouldn't be too bad once, everything, once you go once, everybody will have a decent idea for years to come, hopefully. And that'll be helpful for everybody for the most part.
So I guess I just realized this, and I didn't even think about this when you guys were coming on here. You guys both drive slider cars, don't you?
Yep.
So Jeremy Lighting Motorsports, home of the slider car. He is the title sponsor of the Sport Mod Summer Series. So again, can't thank Jeremy enough, and Jeremy's support throughout. He was giving away tires at the chassis school and the banquet, and cool to have Jeremy on board. But I didn't realize you guys are both slider cars. But maybe something in to learn a little bit and to show everybody what Jeremy can build back up here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, so Jeremy does a really good job with all his stuff. His stuff's precisely built and real good quality. He doesn't turn out a lot of cars every year, which is good for guys like us. We don't have to race against too many of them every night. But there's getting to be more and more out there. But you don't realize how much Jeremy does for racing until you go to like your guys' banquet at school and stuff and giving away tires at all your guys' Dirt Crown events, stuff like that for when you do your giveaways and stuff. So Jeremy's doing some pretty cool stuff, and we definitely appreciate everything he does and being a part of the slider team there.
Yeah, definitely. I can pretty much mirror what Tyler said there. He does a lot for everybody, especially the tracks he supports, doing parts at and stuff. And then, he kind of taken over Ron's deal. He helps a lot of guys on repairs and stuff like that. And he, before we know it, he'll have a part in everybody's race team around here. So it's nice that he came on and did the series deal. Sport mods are probably one of the most growing classes. And of course it's good for him too. He has a lot of sport mods out there. So it makes sense for everybody. And, hopefully people support what he supports. That way everything can keep going around.
So Devin, maybe the end of last year, I think it was, we've seen your current car, the car you raced last year. Did you sell that car?
Yeah. Yep. We sold our 2019 car. A lot of races on that, and it's time to kind of upgrade, probably get something fresh. So we got a new car, sold that one to Sean Pospischel. He races weekly at Eagle, so he took that off our hands, and then Jeremy built us a new one, just picked it up in the snowmageddon last week, so that was interesting. But got it home, and now we'll start putting it together slowly as get some of our sponsor dollars in and stuff, and get it put together. So should thing looks awesome already. It'll probably be the nicest car I've ever had. So hopefully the results are good, and we can hopefully get one of those neon signs. Would be cool too.
Well, that is the plan. Sport mods will have the neon signs for trophies as well. So something that we look to continue for both series there, definitely. So you're going to come into the season with a fresh car, notebook, throw it out the window. You think a lot of the stuff will go along with it, or what are you seeing so far as you're putting that car together?
Yeah, it'll be, some things will be different, but I mean, mostly, like Tyler said earlier, everything that rolls out of there is, precise. Everything's the same, as far as measurement wise goes, rear end stuff's the same. All that stuff's pretty close to the same, but everything's a little bit different, of course, car to car. So we'll probably, hope we can get some testing in and stuff, like Kelly was saying earlier, late March, and see what kind of program we got before we hit the road running. Probably Harlan or Norfolk will be our first show. So hopefully have all the bugs worked out by then, instead of wait until June like some other years. So we'll hopefully have it figured out pretty decent early. There's a lot of big races early. That Spencer deal is pretty early in the season, so be pretty crucial to get everything figured out soon. There's a lot of money on the line this year, so.
Yeah, and I think you guys are both going to Spencer. Tyler, you're going to Spencer, aren't you?
Yep, we're registered for that. Kind of like Kelly and them were saying earlier, is that if you don't go searching for competition, you won't get any better, and you're not going to find much better competition than going to somewhere like that. And then these dirt crown races and stuff too. Definitely looking to try to get better. We're putting together a 2023 slider that we got. It's new too, one that we never got out yet. So we're getting it put together. So we'll be starting fresh as well. So we're going to get in some testing and stuff beginning of the year, and hopefully not suck right away, which I'm sure Jeremy's cars are good, so I don't think that'll be an issue, but just trying to get back to the level where we had our other one at.
And that is something, you guys starting the year off, like you said, the Spencer races early. There's some early money to be had if you guys want to get after it, and anything that you can get at in March and April, I think you guys are definitely going to be hot and heavy trying to get some track time.
Yep, no doubt. So it'll be definitely be one of them deals to where you got to pick and choose your battles on that one, because nobody wants to go out and destroy a brand new car first night. But then again, you can tear up a car anywhere.
Devin?
Yeah,
You're pretty good,
no comment. He's right. So hopefully, especially the dirt crown stuff and some of these bigger shows, I think probably your risk to tear stuff up is a little bit lower. Hopefully, at least, racing with great cars. I mean, that Spencer deal will be crazy. Just to make the race will be incredible. And I'm sure half the dirt crown races, more than half of those will have 40 plus cars too. A lot of good cars. Seems like it gets harder. Every year you get people moving around and getting new stuff, and just part of it. Everybody gets faster, so you got to keep working hard too.
So they got a little banter going on here. Andrew Churchill, is the old car the one you drove the Charlie Clark race you on?
Yeah, it is. He already knows the answer. He's just he's trying to giggle.
Yeah, and here we go. So then Chris Burke says, you know who doesn't have a Charlie Clark? Turbo.
Yeah, that's a Gateway Dirt Nationals deal right there. So me and Jake were able to have a little fun with Turbo down there about some of the reminiscing about some of the old I-80 times. So sucks that's not around anymore, but hopefully some of these places we're going to will provide great racing too. So,
and that is something, I mean, you got to spend a lot of time at I-80 Speedway, and a place you almost focused on for a while.
Yeah, definitely makes you cry almost every time you drive by. So it's crazy. There was a lot of great races there, a lot of good times, but everything good comes to an end, I guess.
Yeah, exactly right. You got, if I'm not mistaken, you got your starts in a go-kart. Is that right, Devin?
Yep. Started when I was 5 years old. I pretty sure my dad regrets it, but that's all right. So here we are, race those all around pretty much the country for years, and grew up racing with a lot of guys that race now, like Ethan Broxma and Drew Jansen, a lot of those guys. Raced with them all growing up, and as we kind of all got older, we all ended up kind of in the IMCA deal. That's kind of the next step. So it's pretty cool to see everybody's journey, the different paths they take in and stuff like that. So
Tyler Drosty never been a size 7 shoe faster around I-80 than the 5D.
he should worry about shipping my parts.
Oh, Tyler from Performance Bodies. Love having you on here, bud. Thank you for joining in. Here's another one. Joe McBurney makes you want to sniff a jack. That was one cool thing. Did you drink your bottle of Jack already?
When I turned 21, I had a pull off of the first one that I won, and when I did that, I went around the shop and threw it up, and that's the last time I ever drank it. So
it's safe. It's safe on the shelf. We can say that nobody will get into that from here on out.
Yeah, that's right. Unless some of my great friends make it disappear, but we'll see.
So Devin Peterson and Tyler Watts. Definitely look forward to having you guys along with the Lighting Sport Mod Summer Series, as well as some of the other big races around. Tyler, we talked about where Devin got his start at. We know that you followed your dad around as he zigzagged the Midwest. Where did you finally get behind the wheel?
I first got behind the wheel when I was probably 15 range. Probably made some practice laps around Minneapolis Raceway before they closed down. We'd go there day after the race and kind of do a few hot laps here and there, make sure that I wasn't going to go out there and just look like a total fool first time I got on the track with other cars. But I say with my dad, he's been racing for 30 plus years now, and grew up going to Red Cloud and some Norton tracks like that, and tracks that aren't really around much anymore, but been at the racetrack pretty much every weekend through the racing season since I was born. Then since then, we've just kind of kept it going. It's something fun that we get to do together, and it's pretty tough some nights. We have 3 cars some nights when we take the stock car and have 2 people working on 3 cars, so that makes it pretty difficult. We don't really have any crew or anything that goes with us, so pretty busy nights, but it's all good fun. Kind of like Devin said, his dad probably regrets getting him into it, but then again, wouldn't be as many fun stories and as many fun nights without all their bad decisions reflecting on us.
All right, so it's time for some truth. It sounds like Cam's working on your wrap and wants to know that Tyler Watts is changing his wrap to pink and green this year.
Yep. So Cam's got something worked up. We're kind of trying to decide if we're going to go with pink and green or brown and yellow. So we picked one of the worst 2 color combinations we could think of and going to go for it.
Might as well challenge the wrap guys when they want to come up with stuff like that, right?
No, we're definitely not doing that, but it's a fun joke to have.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And you mentioned 2 guys working on 3 cars, but it's 2 drivers working on 3 cars.
Yep. Yeah. Say it's tough when sport on stock cars run back to back. So if I'm running both of them the same night, I got to get out of one, jump in the other. My dad's helping me trying to get one car through tech a lot of nights and back to the trailer so he can jump in and run his modified right after the other car I'm driving, or vice versa if he's driving stock car and mod on the same nights. It's definitely a lot of work, but a lot of fun too. So there was one night. Sorry, there was one night Hayes Fall Nationals this year to where I was running the stock car and sport mod and made the main event in both of them, and I got done with the sport mod and made it to tech, and they were wanting to check quite a bit of stuff, and my dad was like, oh man, I still got stuff to do on my car, I don't know how I'm going to get it done. So I go out in the stock car and we started toward the back, qualified out of a B, and we weren't very good. So I was like, oh man, I'm just going to go back and finish tech in my car so he can get his car done. So I ended up only making probably 5 or 6 laps, but I was thinking about him getting his stuff ready more than I was running the stock car at that point, because we were struggling a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing, when it's you and your dad, sometimes you lose focus on really what your goal was, but you know that you need to do something on his car to get him out there, or he's vice versa, and he needs to do something on your car to get you out there. So sometimes it's probably not the focus on the car as much as you guys want to be, or focus on the race as much as you guys want to be, as focused on one or the other one.
Yeah, say it's tough because we both really like to watch each other race, and that's one reason we haven't been in the same class, is that we both like to be able to help each other if we can and be able to watch each other. That's I think he gets as much enjoyment out of watching me race as he does racing. It's the same for me. I love watching him race, and it's all one of them deals, give and take there, but we kind of did it to ourselves, so just try to make the best of the situation.
And that is something that's super cool, though, that you and your dad will share forever, is the bond at the racetrack.
Yeah, a lot of memories there, a lot of late nights, a lot of driving, and definitely probably some attitude for me he wishes he wouldn't have got on nights that I might have gotten frustrated, but that's part of it too. Good thing he's quick to forgive.
Yeah. So talking about quick to forgive, Hunter Wergen wants to know, was it you or your dad driving at Deschler when his brother rammed into the back of you guys? Must have been in hot laps or something on a practice night.
Well, so when we got our 2021 slider car, it was brand new, and we took it to Beatrice, and the track was pretty rough that night, so we took it pretty easy. I was pretty careful, and we were going to go to Deschler the next day for practice, and got there and didn't have a scratch on the car from Beatrice, even though it was rough, and get over there to pull onto the track for the first set of hot laps, and they were lining everybody up, and I was sitting behind a couple other cars, and all of a sudden I felt a smack right into the back of my car, and I thought it was somebody messing with me at first, like Devin or something, probably coming up and tapping me in the bumper. But I was like, oh, that seemed pretty hard for a bumper tap. So I get out and look, and like he said, he didn't know how to run the Bryn yet, and the first year's stock cars got him. And I got out and looked, and the whole left side of my deck on my brand new car was all shoved up and crinkled over to where, I mean, it was pretty much trashed right there. I mean, yeah, I was not very happy, but kind of one of them deals after you think about it for a little bit, it's funnier now.
So maybe some of the attitude your dad had to put up with as you were growing up there.
Yeah, definitely. I can be a little quick on the trigger for a little bit of overreaction there from time to time, but getting better at that.
That's okay. That's what makes it entertaining. And coming to the racetrack every night, you never know what's going to happen next. So if we see you light a firework once in a while, that's probably okay. Fans in the stands will enjoy it. Yeah,
nope. I try to. Usually, I'm never get mad in my car. It's once I get out of my car I get mad. So that's good. So at least we don't have to worry about that on the track ever.
That's good. So Devin, I think one of the first things that we're going to do, we got Tyler Mew on here. I think we should say that maybe one of the first two races, if you make the invert, we're going to have a foot race to see who gets to draw on the pole. You guys in for that?
I mean, yeah. Obviously I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage, but my 40 time's pretty quick, so I'm down.
You're down? Well, we did it in the stock cars, and tried to reenact it at the banquet, and then Jeff Ware's hurt for life, and Kyle's banned from running because he runs over people. So I don't know, we should try it in the sport mods. They say you guys wreck everybody, but I bet you guys can run better than they can, right?
Hopefully, yeah. I'd probably roll my ankle on the way over and probably get the 12 anyways, so it might be easier to just draw.
Easier to draw.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more fun, though.
Right? Definitely, like we talk, entertaining for the fans. So as we talk here with Devin Peterson and Tyler Watts on the Inside Line presented by our friends at Dirt Track Bank, guys, let's look through the schedule a little bit here. I don't know if you guys have it pulled up. What are some of the tracks that maybe you've already circled that are ones that you're going to go after here when it comes to the Sport Mod series here? We start off with Off-Road and Stewart, Interstate, Park Jeff, go to Spencer, Slayton, Worthington, and then back to Spencer. That's kind of the north side. And I don't know, are you guys, let's back up here a step. Tyler, you're kind of south, but are you going to go south and north?
For the most part, we're definitely going to hit all the south races and try to run all those. The other ones, probably try to make it up to Clay County Speedway, They always have an awesome track. Trent Chin Promotions and Taylor, they all do a good job up there. So for the $25,000 race and for their Dirt Crown races, they'll do a good job. I'd really like to run interstate things I've seen up there that Chase and them are doing. Looks like they have a really good track up there every night for what I've seen from the videos. Like to try new places. Other than that, depending on when we can make them work, with being busy with work and our business and everything else, it's tough to get away all the time, but there's a few of those races on the north that we'd like to try to hit.
Devin, what about you?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. A lot of it depends on when a guy runs out of money. It's hopefully get enough sponsors and everything to do both of them. But we'll just see kind of how it goes. I guess starting to your hand will be tied. Say you do pretty good the first 3-4 nights or something, then probably definitely gonna do them all. So it'd definitely be nice to do them all. Probably my favorite thing on the whole deal is just all the new tracks. I've never been to like Worthington or Slayton, or a lot of them smaller tracks we were talking about earlier. I haven't been to some of those places, so we always like going to new places. Especially some of them. Hopefully, you get some guys around here, go travel as well. That way, when everybody gets on a new track per se, that's always pretty fun too, because everybody's kind of got an even slate. So some of that north stuff will be definitely probably better competition too. Possibly, you got, like you were talking, the 9 car and 0-0 up there and stuff. They're not gonna let me and Tyler come up there and have any success very easily. So that's another thing that makes me really excited for it too, is all the good competition. We got a lot of good competition around here too, but it's always fun to get out of your region and actually have a reason, to go and race against those guys, and that it's not just a weekly race that pays $300 makes it worth making the trip for. So should be pretty fun.
Was it last year or the year before when it seemed like every night there was a redraw for like 5 or 6 weeks that you ended up front? Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago when you did?
Did I ended up front?
Yeah. No, I'm saying you finished up front.
Oh yeah, maybe. Hopefully, hopefully that happens again. So we'll, a lot of it's getting on a roll too. Getting your stuff figured out, and when things are going good, things are going good. So a lot of that, getting a solid base to go to all these different places, is really important too. So lots of races kind of at the beginning of the year to try and get your stuff figured out before you have to, drive 5 hours. You want to feel pretty decent when you drop the back gate, or the night's probably gonna end up pretty long, and it's gonna be a long ride home. With I know how Tyler's dad is, and I sure know how my dad is. So the results are key.
So Jason Malico has already called you out as a cherry picker. So
yeah, is what it is. I mean, I raced against arguably probably one of the best sport mods in the nation weekly last year. For the last couple of years actually. So racing against Robbie and Spander and Matt, a lot of them guys, Roebuck, those guys are really fast. So it's good having good competition around here too. That way, when you go other places, hopefully your success carries over. So,
and that is the thing. Kelly talked about it, and Mike talks about it. I mean, we all talk about it. The competition level just makes you raise your bar even higher, and you guys both roll really good at your weekly racing and the specials around here. But now you raise the bar even higher. You mentioned the 0-0 car, the 9 car, Colby Fett, Matt Loof. You get up into that neck of the woods, and there's some real good guys. But you go Tyler's way down your way, and there's some good sport mod guys down your way too, Tyler.
Yeah, we got some pretty tough hitters down here too. When you get over to Hayes, Blaine Walt's always real tough over there, and then throw in some guys like Tyler Fry getting back in a sport mod and running more now. He's definitely a good driver. So I mean, we got some younger guys. Connor Barnes is pretty strong. Then obviously you got to deal with Cam Gruber, so that can be tough sometimes too. He'll throw a slider from the boondocks on you. So
never bad where you start the slider. It's just where it finishes, right?
Yeah. No, we fortunately around here, all our guys are really respectful. Majority of the time, we really don't have too many issues. Thankfully, we don't tear up a whole lot of stuff. Obviously, sometimes it happens to where somebody up toward the front gets squirrely and have a pile up or something. But around here, we don't have guys who just dump truck everybody every night, and which is something that going up to Nebraska from time to time you can't say. Them guys like to get a little bit rougher up there than we do.
Exactly. Devin gets to deal with that on a weekly basis. I think at some of the racetracks he races, I think I've seen him take a popcorn ball and make it back into a door and a deck piece the one night. A brand new body it looked like, and by the time it came out for the feature, it was definitely used and abused.
Yeah, we have a couple of those. What was Kelly saying earlier? Something watery spiders.
A water spider. A water spider.
Yeah, that, it's there's guys like that everywhere, but yeah, guys got burned several times by guys kind of spinning out in front of the field type deal, causing big pileups and stuff, but that stuff happens. I was one of those guys once too. I actually, like my first year racing, I stuffed Tyler into the front stretch wall at Beatrice because I didn't know any better, so that stuff happens. But yeah, unfortunately, that stuff goes on, but it seems to be pretty decent, more times than not, especially when the racetracks are good. We like staying away from tracks where the track does damage to your car other than the other drivers. So that'll hopefully be good following this Dirt Crown deal. I assume a lot of those places are gonna have their track prep nice for all the cars coming in, and that'll be good to race on good surfaces and provide great racing for everybody too. So
one of the things, Devin, I know you've kind of asked for this for a couple of years now. Well, I can't say a year. You've asked for this, and Tyler, you guys will be introduced to this if you haven't already. Dirt Crown TV. So Dirt Crown TV, you guys will have your own links. The many nights of the Sport Mod deal, especially on the South, will be on Dirt Crown TV, and some of the North will be as well. So again, you guys will be able to share links. I know, Devin, you've asked for that for some time, just to help promote yourself and what you're doing, but then also help promote the races that you guys are attending. So that'll be something cool that you guys will get an opportunity to do this year as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's that's an awesome deal. I have kind of family all spread out that like being able to watch and buy the races and kind of works for everybody. Works good. Puts a little money in your guys' pocket, the track's pocket, our pocket. So things like that are good. It's great, actually. Good for my sponsors. It's something I can sell to them. To hopefully get better return for their dollars too. So it's just it's a cool deal. That's definitely something that needed to happen and needs to continue to happen in order to keep racing for the bigger purses kind of that are getting introduced, and you hope those stick around. Hopefully don't want to all of a sudden have something like this for a couple of years and then it doesn't survive. So things like that to make everybody be able to get to the racetrack and afford it is pretty important. So
I think you just got a ride in a stock car now, Devin. I don't know if you wanted one, but you just got a ride. If you want one, go pick it up, it sounds like.
Yeah, that'd be super cool to be able to do that type of deal. That's why I was begging you guys to make a tour so I didn't have to get one. So you guys were making it too good. Awesome stock car races all around. There's, I have a lot of sport mod stuff, and stuff like that. A lot of things lined up, and for what I got going on. So it's cool to see something for the sport mods too. You know, it's we're probably the next biggest class besides the stock cars now, I would say, you know, looking at numbers all around and stuff. So definitely need to have the class that you know, has cars and people support it as this kind of showcase to put on good races. So that's good. I'm glad we got something like this. It should be good for everybody. So,
And that'll be one thing that is cool, because you know, the average car count over the last 2 years for the stock cars is really like 47-ish at all of our races. 50 the first year. This year, with a few of the Eastern races that we had, a little bit lower car counts than we were accustomed to, but it brought us down to 45. So it's roughly 47 in the last 2 years. The sport mods, I mean, we pull into some of these gates and there could be 40, 50, 60 cars pretty easy, I think, at multiple nights.
yeah, for sure. It some of these, especially some of these northern ones, you know, where the car counts are a lot thicker, just population wise. You know, there'll be tons of cars. So hopefully some of these ones that are kind of far away, like you know, Osborne and Beloit and some of those places, there's not really tons of race cars. Hopefully people kind of buck up and travel for that to support what you guys are doing. So it's probably a little bit more challenges with the sport mod deal, because I think there's probably more dedicated like weekly racing going on, but hopefully, you know, people want to race for some more money too, because I mean, you know, anytime anymore, weekly pay is, you know, when you drop the back gate on your trailer, you're already in the hole even if you win. So it's it should be a good opportunity for everybody. Hopefully everybody realizes that. So
Yeah, and with the schedule, you know, the way we put it together, we try to stay away from as much weekly racing as we possibly can. So those guys that want to go weekly racing still can. If they want to come out on tour, they can. And you know, if Devin's needing a little bit of cherry picking, he can go pick up a win at one of the weekly tracks. Cam's still with us here. He must be working on your wrap or something. Wants to know if you're going to be putting the new plastic body panels on.
yeah, we'll probably do that plastic deal. Yeah, we do have a lot of body work, so I like hitting things, it seems like sometimes. So no, hopefully stay away from that stuff. But the plastic body panel deal is pretty cool. So I think a lot of people will be switching that direction. So he's not working on my wrap, by the way. Dre at Underdog Design does my wraps. Cam does a great job, but I don't want to throw my guy under the bus either. So
Dre does. Dre is somebody who does a lot of good work, and you had some T-shirts, I think, that Dre did for you last year, maybe the year before. So definitely a lot of good work coming out of Dre's stables there, just over the border. I think he's in Iowa now, isn't he?
Yeah, yep. So he's done our stuff the last couple of years, and he does great work. All the wrap guys do great work. Chris Burke wrapped my helmet, and Cam's done a lot of my friend's stuff. Does Tyler's stuff. Does a lot of my Kansas friends stuff, and he always helps Chris too. He's always right there with doing logos and stuff for everybody. He did Jeremy's logos actually that look awesome. So that's a cool deal. Everybody can get along in the rap community. So
hey, we just all need to get along, like we said. You know, surround yourself with good people, and you know, Kelly and Mike were talking about that earlier. You guys are, you know, surrounding yourself with good people, and you know, that's what we're set out here at DirtCon to surround ourselves with good people, and I think we got two good drivers right here with us, Devin and Tyler in the sport mod world. We're going to get things wrapped up here. So Devin, one last chance to thank anybody out there or throw any shout outs out.
Yeah, definitely. We could talk another hour about all the people that back me and support me, but definitely got to thank Jeremy for helping putting money up for this deal. He does a lot for everybody. Thanks to him and Travis and Noah for getting my car done. That helps so I can get to the racetrack. So thanks to them for all they've done lately. And then of course all my sponsors. You can check them all out on Facebook and on my website. So getting everybody back on board for this year, hopefully, and hopefully some fresh ones, and that'll keep the train moving, hopefully. So should be fun here.
Tyler, who do we need to thank with the 77 team?
Yeah, gotta thank you guys for doing this, for the series and everything, all the work you guys put in. Jeremy as well, Slider Chassis. I really gotta thank my my mom and my dad and my wife. We don't really have a whole lot of sponsors or anything, but surrounded ourselves with good people. We choose to buy our our equipment, wraps, that kind of stuff from, like Cam Bulletproof Designs, Jeremy Lighting, Tom Barry, Slick Stick Shocks, Midstate Machine. Like you said, surround yourself with good people who can help improve your race program, even though necessarily they might not be giving you anything. You're still willing to pay for the good stuff. So, and they all make amazing stuff and definitely take care of you. So that's for the most part who I ever thank.
Well, again, thank you guys for jumping on board with us here tonight. As the season goes, I'm sure we'll follow up with you guys both, and Devin, maybe we can get you at a racetrack or two. We already know Tyler's coming, so we just need to make sure that you show up a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for putting on the series. You and Rob done a great job. So should be a fun season. And also want to shout out my dad, my grandpa, and my sister, my girlfriend, everybody that helps in the pits and stuff like that too. It really takes everybody, like Tyler said, got to surround yourself with good people to have good results. So look forward to seeing everybody.
Awesome. Thank you guys again for joining us here. We'll let you go about your night, and can't thank you enough for joining the Inside Line here presented by Dirt Track Bank.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
So again, Tyler Watts and Devin Peterson, two competitors we'll see in the Lighting Motorsports Summer Series with the Sport Mods coming up in 2024. 16 nights of racing, looking for 1,000 to win at least per night. So good Sport Mod shows, North and South divisions. Check those out on Dirt Crown Facebook. Can't thank Kelly Shryock enough for joining us here tonight, along with Mike Nichols. All you viewers out there, thank you very much for joining us here. We're on about an hour and a half. If anybody wants to know, we don't know where Waldo Rob is, and we still haven't found Ryan. He's probably announcing a basketball game or working on wraps or chasing twins or something like that. So again, can't thank those guys enough for all their help and hard work. Thank you again to the Dirt Track Bank, Jay Burdick, for everything he does here at anything really in motorsports in general. Jay has helped us with the Inside Line here, has helped us with our series. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to get more often. We're going to have more guests jump on with us here. So make sure you're watching our Facebook page. We'll have more podcasts coming up here next week, hopefully. Some exciting stuff yet to come here that we look to announce, and maybe some more giveaway stuff that we can incentivize drivers with here. So again, thanks for joining us here at the Inside Line podcast, and everybody have a good night, stay safe, and enjoy.
Back from the pole, as I put it in the wall, second lap of my heat, got a little loose coming out of 3, got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me that we're ready to run now. That's a damn good thing, 'cause that green flag's waving and I'm on the gas. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn a wrench. It's the only way I can afford to fill it up again, tear it up again. It's the only way I'm ever gonna learn. One more left turn. Laps in, from the back to the front, I'm making my move one at a time. I'm picking them off, 2 back from the lead, working on second place, coming out of 3. I put it straight to the wood, 'cause where I'm at ain't good enough for me. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I My heart is racing.